It appears that the former cable TV actress and Suits, personnel, Meghan Markle has been dumped by the very stars that she really much courted. But what was the reason behind this? And as ever, why? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. Nice to have your company today. By the way, I just wanted to share this image with you. I thought it was really funny. I don't know if you had these in your part of the world, but do you remember when you used to go outside shops and they'd actually have weighing machines? And when you think about it then, you know, people were a lot slimmer in that particular era, those decades. So it did seem odd, didn't it, that we were able to weigh ourselves in the full view of the high street. They didn't have a printed shape, they just had the big arrow with the bell going round, do you remember? And people would get on, tut it and climb off, you know. And when you think about it now, the obesity crisis and all of that sort of stuff, you don't see any weighing machines at all anywhere, do you? Yeah, I think they could be right for a comeback. Am I right? Love to know what you think about that. I think all of those things, when you look back, we did things better in the old days. And I think particularly if you had one outside a fish and chip shop, perhaps you wouldn't have as many chips. I know. You're thinking, oh, shut up, Neil, get on with it. Back as ever to your breaking royal story of the day. This particular story, as ever for me, is really just one of discourse, because when you think about it, it's interesting, isn't it? You know, Meghan Markle really did her very best to cultivate what she thought were the right friendships about the people who had snubbed her, one might say, when she was climbing the greasy ladder of Hollywood success, or in her case, of course, satellite or cable TV success. What I find incredible, though, is that, you know, when you think about it, she did come from some kind of showbiz background. So surely her father, Thomas Markle, must have told her exactly how vapid and shallow these people are. But of course, Meghan ploughed ahead, as we saw with the royal wedding. She invited so many people to her wedding that she simply didn't know. But there was a further fetch, as we say in the north, because she did hope, of course, that these would turn into very, very useful contacts. The likes of Oprah Winfrey, the Beckhams. She didn't invite Ellen DeGeneres, but Ellen got her own back, of course, when she invited Meghan on her show and made a squat with a milk bottle and do ridiculous stuff. I'm not so sure if they're friendly now. But according to a very good source, and as ever we have to say allegedly, it does seem that Meghan is rather perplexed by the lack of friendships that she made within her time, if you like, out there so far. Now, a lot of people could say, well, you know, you use and you sort of dispose, and that is the way Hollywood operates. But I think the bigger problem is this, and Meghan is just failing to realise exactly why people don't want to be friends with her. When you think about the British monarchy, they have a certain cachet. And to give you an idea, all American stars want to appear on the Royal Variety Performance. This is an annual event, a charity-raising big event, which is normally attended by senior members of the British monarchy. Harry and Meghan did it once. They look bored rigid, but there you go. And more importantly, when you think about it, you know, as I say, stars come over, they appear for free. Barry Manilow, the superstar singer and songwriter, told me that he was absolutely honoured and thrilled and delighted to be invited. But more importantly, as he also pointed out, the sales of his albums and singles and streaming and all that sort of stuff shot through the roof once the show was televised. That's the power of the monarchy. Now, interesting to note, isn't it, that when you think about it, if you were Meghan Markle, you would have thought, well, what is the pulling power here? Now, as sort of Harry and Meghan's star declines rapidly, you can understand why those shallow stars that were once wanting to align themselves with Harry and Meghan have since departed. And this is now one of the bigger problems that are facing not just those two individually, but of course the very expensive PR, marketing and brand experts surrounding them out in Montecito. So for Harry and Meghan to try and develop their next phase and wonder exactly where they're going wrong and why stars are now all queuing up and waiting for the big event this year in Boston in the United States, I think they could learn a lot of lessons, because sometimes less is more. And more importantly, isn't it about stars should come to you if you are members of the British monarchy, not chasing them the other way round, as Meghan did with her royal wedding. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.